Hello everybody, it has been a long time since I've not appeared in this channel. Today I wanted to share something very special with you, which is my goals for the year of 2026. We have just started the year, and I hope that by sharing some of my goals for the coming year, you will also be able to get inspired on how to make your life more productive, healthier, and also happier in general. One of the things that helped me the most throughout my planning of my goals throughout the year has been separating the things that I wanted to continue doing from the previous year onwards to 2026, but also to note down the habits that I wanted to stop doing and also things that I wanted to introduce in my life. By introducing these three categories into my list of, let's put it like, wishes into the next year, I think that one of the most helpful things was that I was able to reflect as I was jotting down the things that I wanted to change in my life, how feasible it would be, since now I would not only try to just put different things onto my routine and hope they stick, but rather try to balance between things that I already did and also adding just a couple of things that I thought that it would be more useful. So that's my first tip if you are looking for some way to basically make your goals more feasible in the future. I believe that especially after moving to Tokyo, one of the things that I started realizing was how important it was to have a somewhat more healthy lifestyle, mostly in terms of your sleep, the things that you eat, and also your plans for life in general. So for example, being mindful about your weight, about your diet, the things that you are drinking and putting into your body as a way to gain energy to invest in other areas of life, such as your education, your professional life, or for example, how much energy you have in your free time to spend with friends, with your family, and etc. I think that my first goal for 2026 is definitely to be more healthy. I think that one of the habits that I ended up gaining after moving to Tokyo was drinking tea, and it's a super effective way of drinking something that has good taste. It's very simple to make. You just heat the water, and after some time, you just pour it into the tea. So completely feasible. It's also cheap, so it doesn't cost much, but it's a very nice way of introducing a healthy habit up to our routines. Next, I think that I've been very harsh on myself in the sense of eating clean. I am trying to avoid as much as possible snacks and other types of more processed food. I still allow myself to have some somewhat like more greasy food, for example, because I don't think that's necessarily a problem as long as the oil is being used in a good way. And also it's a good quality restaurant, there's no problem in it. But I think that my mentality has been that even if I end up spending a little bit more money, it's still worth it if in the medium term I will be able to have better health. I think that right now I'm in a situation in my life where I'm somewhat stable enough in the sense that I am taking my studies very seriously. So throughout the medium term, I think that spending a little bit more money won't necessarily make a huge difference as long as I'm prioritizing my health. And again, taking back the energy that I gained from eating cleanly and putting into my work, my studies, and my relationships with people. Another thing that I've been looking forward to do, this is one of the things that I've continuing to do since the last year, is interacting with new people. So I basically made a challenge with myself when I was in Tokyo for 2 months, which was to try to make new friends, be it in university alone or even on the street. For example, when I'm in the metro, try to talk to somebody. And this is especially difficult here in Japan because people are famous for being very quiet and kept to themselves. But even so, I recently found out that Japanese people are somewhat open if you talk to them. Mostly, I think they also expect me to be more open since I'm a foreigner. But one way or the other, I literally just try to engage with them in my daily life. For example, by giving them a compliment or just trying to do some small talk. I feel that this has been a good way to interact with strangers and also make new friends. Even though this is a pretty simple habit, I found out that it's somewhat challenging for many people, but it's also a good way of breaking the ice when you're trying to meet someone new, be it a friend or literally just trying to become more friendly with people in general. Now, my next habit is a little bit more focused on my academics. This is basically also related to what's here in the back of the screen, which is becoming better at programming/math and data science and all things related to tax, cybersecurity, and things like that. I think that especially in the past 5 years, soft skills have not necessarily become a more common skill, but it has been more popularized between people. So I think that still, if you are super highly skilled in soft skills, you can be very outstanding in the job market. But most of the times, I think that what they require is that you have a somewhat good level of soft skills, but also that you are very technical in what you do. So as long as you're basically not an alien, you will probably be good in the job market. And since then, I think that my approach, even to university, has been that I wanted to become as technical as possible. This includes, for example, taking math courses, taking physics courses, programming courses, as a way to try to learn a lot about this emerging area. And even though there are many ways of becoming more open quotes technical, I found out that this is a way that I enjoy a lot. And I think that despite that, I've been somewhat procrastinating on the work that you need to do behind the scenes. So most of the time, I feel like I end up studying for the assignments that we have, or even doing the pre-class works for some of the classes. But on my free time, I generally try to shortcut my knowledge or end up thinking that I know more than I actually do. So a goal for this year is to try to dig deep into topics like pure math, also in programming. This includes, for example, doing more lead code, both as a way of preparing myself for my future goals professionally, but also as a way to becoming more able to put into reality some of the projects that I've been envisioning throughout the past years. Besides that, another very good thing that I've been doing in the past few years was basically traveling. I think that coming to Asia, more specifically coming to live in Tokyo, has been a completely shift in my mind, or my worldview, should I say, because of how different everything works here. This has been the first time that I saw a society where you are expected to behave in a very specific way compared to Brazil, where you are basically free to act however you want. And this also inspired me to be much more disciplined in my own life. So, in the same way that I got the opportunity to learn many things from being in a new city, I feel like there are so many other places in the world where we can also learn from the locals. So I had the opportunity to travel to some places in Southeast Asia and also near Japan here, being to the countryside of Japan as well. It has been a phenomenal experience, and that's something that I definitely want to keep doing as expensive as it can get. Lastly, I also wanted to share some tips if you are looking to create your own goals for the year. I know that the year has already started, but one way or the other, I think that we also have a stereotype that we can only start goals when the year starts, which is completely untrue, especially according to psychology. The best way for you to create a habit that sticks is if you change your routine along with the habit that you're implementing. If you are going to a conference on another city, that's probably a good way of implementing that habit, because your body is going to adapt much more easily to it, because you already have other distractions for you to take place because you are in such a different environment. So take profit of that and also try to implement the habit straight away. I think that the best way for you to implement a habit that sticks is recognizing the things that you are going to win and also the things that you are going to lose by introducing that habit to your life. So if you want to become a person that plays more sports, definitely you are going to need to get out of your comfort zone much more often when you are looking to implement that habit. But the good part is that throughout your life in the medium term, you are probably going to become more healthy. You are going to become a person that has more willpower to spend energy whenever you want. The same way applies if you're quitting a habit. A person that, for example, is trying to quit smoking, it will be very, very painful at the beginning, but it is very important for you when implementing the habit to know about the trajectory that most people fall through and recognize that you're probably going to suffer through a transition period, but then after that, you're going to end up achieving the different version of yourself that you wanted to achieve so much. On that point, it is also very important to try to stipulate somewhat of a timestamp for you to recognize that that goal is either being progressed to be achieved or that you are basically not working on it at all. Instead of just establishing your goals as, for example, starting your personal project or achieving a very specific milestone, you can also break down that into checkpoints, which will basically allow you to check on your progress more easily. If you stipulate that you are going to start working on your personal project, try to identify the main key things that you need to do in order to make that project work, and then try to break down your year into periods of 2 months, of 3 months, so that you can easily keep track of something, even if you discover something that you didn't originally know that was needed for that project. By having these checkpoints, you are able to easily adjust them without necessarily saying that you failed the goal or that it doesn't matter anymore just because you learned something throughout the process. So this has been a very phenomenal year for me because I just got back from an amazing trip, and I'm very, very, very excited for the beginning of the year, and I hope that you are as well. I hope that by me sharing some of the things that I plan to do throughout this next year. You're also inspired to do the same. And if you have any questions on anything that I can help you, I would be more than happy to answer you in the comments. That's going to be it for today, and I hope to see you on the next video. Bye bye.